And to our special Acting for Human Rights. I'm Ellen Kennedy, Executive Director of World Without Genocide at William Mitchell College of Law in St. Paul. Our conversation continues with Dragana Vidovic, who is a child survivor of the Bosnian War. Dragana, you were 11 years old when the war broke out. Describe for us what happened in your town, the bombs, the fighting, the daily struggles, and the fears.
Hi everybody, very glad to be here tonight. I was born in northwest side of Bosnia, and I lived in the third part of Bosnia that in 1992-93 was heavily bombed from a neighborhood town. 93 and 94 were the toughest years. A lack of food, father had to go to war, uncertainty, and seemed like it would never end. But 95 was, end of 95, September was one of the toughest years because in September 95 we were run away from our homes by Croatian and Bosniak army in Operation Cold Storm. Some of the major events.
At World Without Genocide, we often say that children who experience genocide don't experience childhood. Does this seem appropriate to you?
Absolutely. Our parents tried hard to shield us from war news and financial troubles, but you really knew what was going on, and you had to worry about things like food and security instead of playing around as other kids would.
You and your family fled to a refugee center. Can you share with us what that was like?
Yes, end of September in 1995, my town was attacked by Croatian and Bosniak forces, and we fled to a neighborhood town called Banja Luka. We didn't have a car. Luckily, my neighbor did, so she put us all in a wagon, and we left. Some of my cousins were left behind. One of my mother's cousins was 35-year-old in a wheelchair. She was wonderful.
Oh, my.
And they got burned with her parents in a house with 10 other people. But luckily we escaped, and we lived in a refugee camp for 4 months. I didn't know where my dad was for a month at that time, but most of my immediate family survived, and we lived on humanitarian aid, food and clothing being delivered from Germany and Austria.
Thank you. How did you know that the war had ended? And what was the situation like for your family after those 4 years of war?
We heard on news that the war ended with the Dayton Agreement at the end of December 95, and mid-January 96 we were able to return to my town. Most families tried to stay away because we were not sure if the town was still, if there were mines and things like that, but my family returned. So in the whole village where I grew up, it was me, my brother, and his friend, and we just skied and played in the snow. No TV, no electricity, nothing, no phones. So in a way, I had to skip that year of high school, and in a way, it was good 7-8 months of break from literally everything. It was just 3 of us. It was a good time.
You just mentioned that you did miss a year of high school, but you were able to successfully graduate and to go on to college. You then came to the United States to participate in a remarkable program at the College of St. Benedict. Tell us about that.
Yes, right after I started high school in 2000, I started volunteering for various organizations. Actually, I started high school in 96, but in 2000 I luckily got a chance to work with a wonderful foundation, Whalen Family Foundation. Mr. Whalen was graduate from St. John's University, and he came to Bosnia to organize young people to work together. The name of the program was called the Peace Trails Program. So he gathered young people from all over Bosnia to work on various projects, and we were here for 2 weeks in Lake of the Woods up in northern Minnesota. It was a wonderful time camping and canoeing. So we met each other, we met people from Sarajevo, they met us, we shared stories, what it was to be in Sarajevo for 4 years being bombed by Serb forces, what it was to be Muslim in Sarajevo, and we also shared what it was to be a Serb in northwest Bosnia, where we survived what we did, the operation called Storm. And the goal of the project was to involve young people and kids and give them extracurricular activities. So I did a project with a Whale and Family Foundation, and they offered me scholarship to come to St. Benedict, and that was just one of the best lotteries I ever won. So I came to St. Ben's in 2002, and I'm so thankful to Mr. Whalen and St. Ben's and St. John's community for accepting me and being my home for 4 years.
That's a great story. Many survivors never talk about their personal stories during times of conflict, not even to their children or to their spouses. They're often afraid of burdening them or reliving their own traumas in the telling, or sometimes they're even afraid that people won't believe them. And then there are others who feel that it's only through sharing what happened that other people can truly understand. Beginning about a year and a half ago, you started speaking publicly about being a child survivor. Why did you decide to speak out?
I just really, for the longest time, I just really wanted to just move forward, and getting scholarship at St. Ben's and coming here was the best thing. And you just kind of don't think what you went through, you want to think about better things around. But I heard Dr. Kennedy, I heard you give a presentation in one of our classes, and I was just amazed at some of the things you do to increase awareness and understanding of war, and how through education we can find the practical solutions and prevent some of these conflicts. And I just decided I need to volunteer for you and learn more.
Thank you. And you have done that. You were recently in a film that we produced, and you also were part of an art exhibit called Voice to Vision. Tell us a little bit about that.
Working on those two projects really was fun. I met lots of different people, survivors of Holocaust, survivors from Sudan. It's one of the conflicts that I'm really interested in, and just learned so much how different but really similar these conflicts are, and how they're still ongoing, and things that we could do to stop them.
You have long-range plans that relate directly to your life experience as a child survivor. What do you hope to do?
I hope to study causes and consequences of violent aggressive acts, either in psychology, peace studies, or hopefully combining both those areas and contribute more to understanding.
You're a refugee of genocide, and most of the world stood by during the horrors that happened in Bosnia. How can we change people from being bystanders, those who know bad things happen and do nothing, to becoming upstanders, people who will take a stand to end this kind of violence?
War is one of those extreme, very difficult life situations, and people don't want to get involved because sometimes they're afraid for their own lives and how things will turn out for them. So we definitely need more understanding of social and political and economic factors that contribute to these wars, and in order to have these upstanders, we need to increase more knowledge about global security and stability, and be able to explain to people that war in another country, in another continent, affects everybody, not just that place.
Thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciate that.